Hello everyone. Today we're reviewing the Motorola Moto G. The Moto G15 packs an 8-core MediaTek Helio G81 Extreme processor. 2 cores run at 2 GHz, 6 at 1.7 GHz, with a Mali G52 MC2 GPU. This model sports 8 GB of RAM and 256 GB of storage, expandable via microSD. There are also versions with 4 GB RAM and 128 GB internal storage. It boasts a 5200 mAh lithium battery with 18W fast charging. This gives about 2 days of battery life for everyday use like WhatsApp, browsing, social media and email. A full charge takes roughly an hour and a half. Of course, heavy use like video recording, streaming or gaming will drain it faster. The screen measures 6.7 inches with IPS LCD technology. It boasts a 60 Hz refresh rate and Full HD plus resolution of 1080 x 2400 pixels. The dual rear camera setup includes a main lens with a 50MP sensor, f1, 8 aperture and PDAF autofocus, plus a 5MP ultra-wide lens with f2, 4 aperture LED flash and HDR. For video, the camera records Full HD 1080p at 30 fps. The front camera features an 8MP sensor, f2, 0 aperture and 1080p 30 fps video recording. Connectivity includes dual-band Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 5.0, GPS, NFC, FM radio, 3.5mm jack, and USB-C 2.0 port. It comes pre-installed with Android 15. Lastly, regarding price, as mentioned, we have different versions ranging from €119 for 4 GB RAM and 128 GB storage, up to €189 for this version here, with 8 GB RAM and 256 GB storage capacity. Below, I'll leave a direct link to the product page if you want to get any version. Now guys, after seeing the specs, let's move on to the unboxing. Well guys, as for the box contents, as you can see, it's quite simple. First off, of course, we have the mobile phone itself, which, as you'll notice, comes with a silicone case already on it, so when you take the phone out of the box, it's already in the case. We also have the charging cable with USB and USB-C ends to charge the phone. Next, we have 2 small instruction and safety manuals, and lastly, the SIM eject tool for the SIM and microSD slots. Now that we've seen the unboxing, let's move on to the exciting part, examining the phone in detail. The phone weighs 190 grams and measures 7.5 centimeters wide, 16.5 centimeters tall, and about 8 mm thick. On the right side, we find the power button and volume controls. At the top of the phone, there's only the 3.5mm headphone jack. On the left side, near the top, we have the microSD and SIM card slot. The bottom houses a microphone, USB-C charging port, and external speaker. The back has a textured feel, similar to synthetic leather, as you can see from the reflections. In the center, we've got the Motorola logo, and up in the top left, there's the camera module. And of course, on the front, we have the screen. As you can see, it's nearly bezel-less, except for a slightly noticeable bottom edge. Overall, I'm quite impressed with the display panel because I think it has great color contrast and brightness for an IPS, which are typically a bit more muted. Now folks, after checking out the phone's physical details, let's dive into its performance. In this section, I can confidently say the phone has really impressed me, especially considering its entry-level status and price point. The device runs smoothly for everyday tasks, and it's highly unlikely to lag when sending WhatsApp messages, browsing, watching YouTube, or checking emails. After all, it's an entry-level phone, as I mentioned, and this should be its primary function, so you can be completely at ease when performing all these tasks. The screen, as I mentioned, is quite bright and offers good color contrast. Visually, I honestly have no complaints. It's clearly not a top-tier display, but it performs admirably within its capabilities. As for gaming, I've tested it with Call of Duty Mobile as usual. The graphics quality obviously won't let us set it to maximum, it's about halfway there. This tells us the processor has limits and isn't fully ready for these types of games. Once in-game, I won't lie, you can play it, but without many bells and whistles. It's true it doesn't stutter, but it doesn't offer great smoothness either. Graphically, it's just okay. We don't have super impressive visuals, but despite not being a gaming phone, we can still play without major issues. we can manage to play without too much trouble, all things considered. What I did notice while playing was some slight overheating near the camera, though this is pretty normal for entry-level phones when you run a game on them. It's quite common in this price range when gaming. As for camera performance, it's pretty good for the phone's class and price point. I like how the main 50 megapixel lens performs, within its capabilities of course. It looks quite sharp without excess noise or watercolor effect. We could classify it as fairly decent. The wide-angle lens left me a bit disappointed. It lacks clarity and results aren't fully satisfactory. Some images show noise without good natural light. The video performance is where it falters a bit. 30 FPS reduces its smoothness slightly. Live recording shows screen stutters and jerky capture. The final result is fine, but live recording feels clunky. Overall, the Motorola Moto G15 suits all audiences, and within the entry-level range, it has one of the best value-for-money ratios in today's market from what I've tested. If you look around, you'll find very few phones that offer the features and performance of this Moto G15 at this price point. Alright folks, that wraps up our review of the Motorola Moto G15. As always, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay updated. That's all from me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.